Hello and welcome back to Everything Tumbler Tutorials. My name is Rebecca Escott and I am a Tumbler creator, and it feels so good to be back after a very long extended break. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the simple brushstroke technique. This is very beginner friendly, so come along as we get started, and I'll make sure that I have all of the products listed that I've used in this tutorial down in the description for you below. So I know I mentioned that doing the brushstroke tumbler is super simple. However, I think the most difficult part is choosing your colors. In my case, because I wanted to do something Valentine, I chose 3 different tones of pink as well as white. I believe 2 of the colors are metallic, and again, I will have those listed down for you below. You'll see that I start off very slow with a smaller brush, just because I'm thinking I'm going to try to have some control. Oh, and as far as the drips, never mind those. We're going to cover those up. So because I painted my wine tumbler white, I do need to spend time building up my colors, making them darker in certain sections versus the others. Now, to avoid this problem, just paint the tumbler red or a dark pink. This way you don't have to double up on the coats like I did. I've sped this section up for you guys just a little bit so you can still see the process, but at this point I'm basically just getting that initial coat onto the tumbler. Oh, and by the way, I'm using 2 pinks, a red, and a white. I needed to correct myself because I said 3 tones of pink. I definitely only meant 2 pinks and a red. Now that we pretty much have the whole thing done, we don't want to forget the bottom. This too needed a second coat. So once you get your initial coat onto the tumbler, you're going to want to let this dry before you continue messing with it, because ultimately with the wet paint, it just continues to get streaky. Once our initial coat of paint has dried, I'm now just going to go in and start dabbling with the paints and mixing them up. You can already tell from the original coat versus the second coat that things are starting to get a little bit deeper, and now we're moving in the right direction. So now that I'm pretty happy with the base coat of my tumbler, I'm now going to go in with the white and just really starting to get that brush stroke effect. While I continue to play with this tumbler, I just wanted to say thank you guys all so much for being patient. I am so happy to be back on the YouTube and getting my creative juices flowing. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, or just want to give me a shout out and say, hey, hello, welcome back, drop me a comment down below and I promise you I will respond to each and every single one of you. I have missed you all so much, and it's so great to be back. I cannot wait to see what 2024 is going to bring us. Once you're happy with your brush strokes, you're going to want this to completely dry before moving on. When moving on, I'm going to be using the Tack It from Eileen, and we're just going to brush stroke this on, hence brushstroke tumbler, and we're going to just kind of put this randomly throughout. You want this to go tacky. You don't want this to be dry. And this way we can go ahead and apply the foils and giving us that red foil holographic appearance. You'll soon see. Once you've placed the Tack It throughout the tumbler where you wanted it to be, you can either allow this to get tacky on its own or kind of push it along by using a blow dryer, which is what I did. Once you're pretty sure that your Tack It is tacky, we're now ready to go ahead and apply the foil. This is actually nail foil, and I will try to remember where I picked this up from. I think it was Dipping Dots. And they have so many options available. And I think personally working with this type of foil is so much easier to manhandle, if you will. Definitely be sure to check them out. I will have their link listed down for you below. So once you've gotten your foil all placed, you're going to want this to completely dry before moving on to your first coat of epoxy. I'm not exactly sure what happened to my first coat of epoxy, but apparently I didn't record that. So when we come back into this clip, it's already been epoxied. So I epoxied the tumbler with Counterculture DIY's epoxy. Again, the link will be listed in the description for you below. So now that it's already been epoxied and you guys missed that step, now we're just going to go ahead and clean it up. Here I'm just going to kind of scrape off the edges and kind of get that smoothed out. And then we're going to go ahead and use a sandpaper block to sand down the rim and really just make sure that that's nice and smooth. Soap and water will clean this right up, and then we can move on to the next step. For the decal, I wanted something super simple and sweet. So in Cricut Design Space, I just went in under images, typed in Valentine, came across the XOXO and just did an offset, layering it with white and pink so that it would match perfectly with the tumbler. You want to size it accordingly so that you don't have to worry about going around with this decal along the bottom. So you'll see that I placed it above where the wine tumbler starts to curve, which makes it very, very easy to place onto the tumbler. Using my squeegee, I'm just going to rub it down really, really well, making sure it's adhered to the tumbler, and then I can peel back the contact sheet. Once this step is complete, your tumbler is now ready for its final coat of epoxy. At this point, you can decide whether or not to mix using AB Designs glitter additives, which are beautiful, or you can leave the tumbler as it is, the way that I have, and just go ahead and apply your epoxy to the tumbler, and then she's completed. I have some super exciting news for you guys. You're gonna want to stay tuned. Be sure to come back Tuesday for the next tutorial, which is going to be informative with not only an awesome tutorial, but detailed information about the 40,000 subscriber giveaway that I've been promising you guys. So you're going to want to watch that so you can get the information for that, as well as make sure, as of now, start joining. Make sure you're a part of Everything Tumbler Tutorials on Facebook, as well as AB Designs Co. You're going to want to be in both groups for this big, big giveaway. It's my way of saying thank you all so much for being patient with me. Thank you guys so much for following me to this point, and I cannot wait to meet you guys all for the details and for the exciting giveaway that's finally here. So be sure to check out next Tuesday's tutorial so you can find out the last little bits of information you're going to need. If you have any questions regarding this tutorial, please drop me a comment down below. Make sure you ask any questions that you have, and I will be sure to respond and or just say hello. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I cannot wait to see you next Tuesday. Also, make sure when you're done applying your epoxy that you use your heat torch to pop any bubbles you may or may not be able to see.